fire and rescue services are a necessity to ensure safety for residents residing in any county. But here in Frederick County, the need for amplified fire and rescue service is on the rise. Over the past 10 years, the call volume handled by the Frederick County Division of Fire and Rescue Services has increased by over 20%, and the amount of volunteer firefighters has decreased. Fortunately, Frederick County recently received over a $6 million grant that will provide reinforcements to Frederick County's fire departments.
Frederick County was very fortunate to be awarded a SAFER grant through the Department of Homeland Security. Now, SAFER stands for the Staffing for Adequate Fire and Emergency Response.
There were 280 grants awarded nationally, and this was the largest grant other than 8, and it was the largest grant in Maryland. So we really were able to justify the need to recover positions that had been lost during the recession, that had not been refilled by the prior administration, and to get our staffing up because our call volume over the last 10 years has increased by 26%. We responded to 32,500 calls in 2015, which is 89 calls on average a day.
We're one of the fastest growing counties in the state now. People are bringing business, they're moving here. It's a great place to live. And so our fire and rescue, which is a basic government function of the county, is going to have to increase.
The 41 selected new hires were assigned to undergo training at the Public Safety Training Facility.
I think all of them are pretty amped up to be here. This job is probably one of the best jobs in the world, and it's a pretty hard field to get into because of the amount of people applying for the limited number of positions.
So the 41 grant positions come from a pool of almost 1,200 original applicants. They span from New Jersey to the Deep South and as far west as the Midwest. The hiring process is a very, very intense and rigorous selection process to hire our new candidates. It takes up to 8 months to complete. It involves a written test, a background check, interview process, and physical agility test.
Once the new recruits got through the extended application process, they then have to endure the 28-week program.
Recruits report to the academy at 7 in the morning. It's a very regimented day for them. They start out with physical training, and after physical training they get right into the classroom. And if they're not in the classroom, they're on the drill grounds here at the Fire Training Center.
This new accelerated recruit class program is challenging and isn't meant for everyone.
I would say the most challenging thing isn't so much one particular course, is the pace that we go at this. A typical MIFRE class, MIFRE is the certifying agency that we use, their classes for volunteers or off-duty training, it generally occurs roughly 2 nights a week and it's 3-hour blocks. So that allows for that student to go in for 3 hours, learn that particular skill, that session, and then they've got a couple days where they can practice it, they can study up on it. Because of the pace that we have here, we generally cover at least 3 of those sessions in one day, and they've got to get it down immediately because the next day we're rolling into 3 more. So they're doing 40 hours a week of classes instead of 6 hours a week spread out over a longer period of time.
Not only is this program challenging for the new recruits, it is also challenging for the instructors.
But we've never done 3 classes within 1 year to where one class overlaps with the next one. By the time the first class graduates, there's a 3rd class coming in overlapping with the 2nd class. So it is extremely busy here. The field support people that come in, because the majority of our instructors are coming from the field and they get off duty, they come here, they put in additional hours here to help train these people. So it's a huge sacrifice on a lot of people's part, just not on the training staff itself, but on the field support that comes in to teach these guys.
When the recruits graduate from the 28-week program, they then have to complete 4 weeks of field training at an assigned fire station in Frederick County, where they will be evaluated by a supervisor. When they complete the field training, they will then be assigned to work at one of the 30 fire stations in Frederick County. This SAFER grant program will be beneficial for Frederick County in that it will allow fire departments to have faster response time and more staff.
The award of the SAFER grant will have a huge impact for fire rescue response in the county, primarily as we transition to what we call tactical unit staffing. That means that in many of our stations we will no longer share staffing between multiple pieces of apparatus. Currently today in Frederick County, in certain stations, if the fire engine responds to a fire or rescue related emergency, the ambulance could be placed out of service at the fire station and unable for response. Thanks to this SAFER grant, we'll be able to staff the ambulance as well as the fire engine in the firehouse, so both units will remain available regardless of the response type.
I think it's important for the public to recognize that we've done a number of things. We've been able to access and leverage federal tax dollars. So the tax dollars people pay to the federal government, some of that's coming back to the county, and I think that's good news. It saves us money locally. It helps us to accelerate this plan to staff tactically, and it does make sure that on more calls, we will be fully staffed in that response. So operationally it's positive, and the citizens will benefit from that. Citizens in Frederick County feel safe. We're very blessed to have a safe community. We're very blessed to have dedicated staff in our Department of Fire and Rescue Services.
If you would like to find out more about Frederick County's Division of Fire and Rescue Services, visit www.frederickcountymd.gov/DFRS.